Second Chronicles 35. So I don't know why, but when I read about Josiah's death, I was kind of moved by it. What a life. And it's really interesting that because he read the book of the law, he knew how to celebrate the Passover, and he did it exactly. So he was really committed to doing everything that God wants him to do. And it says right here that none of the kings of, ever since the day of the prophet Samuel, none of the kings of Israel had ever celebrated such a Passover as did Josiah. And the Levites and the priests and Judah and Israel who were there in the people with the people of Jerusalem. So what an influence. What a life. But he did it. He pretty much followed everything to a T, and God remembered him for it. And it's interesting how Necho, king of Egypt, went up to fight on the Euphrates, and Josiah marched out. But Necho actually said that, so stop opposing God who is with me, or he will destroy you. So this is the king of Egypt, and he's saying that God is with him. And so it's interesting, that phrase. I don't know if he was referring to his God or if he was referring to Josiah's God, but I think Josiah, if he knew that it was the God of Israel who is doing this, I don't think he would have stood in opposition. What I think is that he thinks that Necho is talking about the God of the Egyptian, and so Josiah didn't waver at that. But it's interesting that I feel like that was a warning so that Josiah would turn away, and it would have been better if he asked for confirmation from God instead of not turning away and disguising himself to engage in battle. I don't know what the reason was, but I feel like he died a premature death. That God could have it shouldn't have been this way, and that he could have lived if he heeded the warning. But and then it says right here that to this day, to the day that this book was written, I don't know about today, but this became a tradition in Israel, and they lamented up for him, and that his acts of devotion is written in the law of the Lord. And that is, I think that's the life well lived.